Hi everybody, Jake here with Blockbuster. Really excited today to showcase and unveil our new Blockbuster B18 HP Firewood processor. So something we've been working on for quite a while. We're really excited. We've made a lot of changes. This is our first real big engineering project since we've acquired the company back in May of 2024. So what is it? Let's start with the B18 HP piece of it. So a little bit different numbering convention than what we've used in the past. We found that our current model lineup is very confusing to a lot of guys. There's a lot of overlap with some of our products. There's a lot, like the 1820 and 1820 Plus are two totally different machines. So as we go forward, we're going to try to do some model consolidation and do some different feature options, but we will look at naming our models based on just a single number category. So our B18, what is the 18 representative of? It's really just representative of our existing 1820 frame. So a lot of changes to it, including the frame, a lot more features, but that's where we're going to start, is with the B18 HP. The HP will recognize that it has our boost function and largest diesel motor offering that we'll offer on that model. So that's where we get the HP package. We'll talk all about that here later in this video. So B18 HP. We'll look at the front of the machine. We have a 6-foot wide live deck right here. And we also have a 8-foot hydraulic folding optional upgrade to this machine. So both of those setups will feature this style live deck like we've always had, where we don't have the legs underneath them. So just nice accessibility as far as being able to load logs and not having anything in your way. Quicker setup, nothing to deploy, very easy and efficient. Capacity on this machine, we're looking at being able to accommodate a 22-inch diameter log, so a little bit bigger or larger diameter than the existing 1820. And then we've also made some minute changes to be able to accept a 24-foot long log. So 22-inch cut diameter, max cut diameter by 24 feet long log that we can fit on this machine. So kind of high level specs right there. Starting right at the front here, we have our, we utilize a 2 5/16 ball for transport. Machines all come standard with trailer brakes, running lights. So that's all standard equipment. You can see we moved our toolbox up front. You'll see that we have some more black in the paint scheme. You'll see some more of that as we pan around here. We come back here and we have our 74 horsepower Doosan diesel engine. So Hyundai Doosan. We went from what we offered on the previous 1820, really a totally different machine than that. But here we are utilizing a 74 horse Doosan. So as we look at hydraulic setup and some of the other features we're doing, just a lot more horsepower and more torque to be able to gain those efficiencies. Some minute changes up here. Still using 2080 heavy gauge chain for our live deck. We finally have log tines from the factory. So we know guys have been asking for that forever, and we've implemented them here on this model first, and we'll look at implementing those on other models going forward down the road here. So another nice thing, just from aesthetics and accessibility standpoint, removable engine covers. Those of you guys that are familiar with our previous products, most of these covers were part of the base machine or welded onto the frame. So it made certain things from a maintenance standpoint challenging, whether it be changing, checking air filter, whatever it may be, adding coolant. So in the event that we need to access the engine, we can simply remove those panels. So much larger hydraulic pump setup. We went to really it's a 3-section pump here. And we're utilizing one of those 2 main sections. We'll talk about how we tie them together to increase the speed of both our splitting function and our cutting function. Come back here. One thing, a lot of feedback we've gotten from a lot of customers. Obviously, these machines utilize a lot of different hydraulic functions, and with that comes hydraulic hoses. To clean things up and really protect our hoses, we finally implemented some trays here where we can house all of that. Obviously protects it from any debris, We put the wing nuts, the screws right on top, so we, again, if we need access to there, we have some valving, our MSL valve, some other items underneath there that should they need any attention, they're easily accessible. And it keeps them out of the sunlight too. So just element of cleaning things up, and again, keeping them accessible and just looks nice from an aesthetic standpoint. 12-volt air compressor. So nothing new here. Did you guys familiar with the Blockbuster brand know that we've been using air return on our cylinders on our model 18, 20 and up for several years, going back quite a while. Little bit different now. We're still using air, but we are only using it on the saw cylinder, the up and down function of the saw. So when you let go of your cut lever, the saw will automatically retract just like it did before, but we are no longer using it on the 5-inch splitting cylinder. We are utilizing a hydraulic return for that now. So kind of ties into some of the things we did to speed things up. So again, not that we house a lot of electronics on the machine, but relay and stuff for the air compressor is kind of now hidden out of the elements, but it's easily accessible. It's right here on the side of the machine. It's not underneath it. Very easy to get at should we need to perform any maintenance or do any kind of inspection. Come back here, probably the biggest visual change on really any of our machines. We've cleaned up our operator station a lot. Totally different layout, looks really nice. New decals. Have things just really laid out for that really nice user experience. When we look at the halo that we have here, or the support, as we pan back, you can see we also have a 16-foot attached pivoting folding elevator. So 16 foot long, and that does fold up onto itself and flat against the back of the machine, so we can easily transport. Very quickly deployable. In order to support the weight on that with this frame, we've added this extra supporting that is much different than machines we've had in the past. With that, you can see we have our sliding glass window. So the nice thing, we have still maintained accessibility to our splitting chamber. We know that's really important to our customers. It's something that we hear a lot about, you know, from a competitive standpoint, or guys that have ran our machines, that have looked at other machines, this is very, very important to them. So we've maintained that. We have quick access here to be able to enter the splitting chamber for any reason, whether we need to reorient something or just the challenges that come along with different pieces of wood that we get. So when we look at our new operator station or layout, no different than any of our other machines. We have an operator seat, so that's standard equipment. It's not an option, comes with the machine. As we noted to here earlier in the video, we have our split boost function now. So what does that mean? So when we press this button, this ring around here will illuminate to tell us that it's engaged. And what we are doing is we're tying really both our main pump sections together so that we can get maximum flow to our splitting cylinder, and that gives us a sub 3 second cycle time. We're closer to 2.5 seconds now on our cycle time with a 5-inch 30-ton splitting cylinder. So obviously greatly increases performance, efficiency, and speed with our machines. A couple other things you can see, we now have all of our gauges laid out next to each other. Really nice. We get a lot of questions on our bar pressure and what it should be. In previous designs, we've always had that gauge on the back side of the operator station, so now the operator can now see that as he's cutting and be able to make any adjustments if needed from that standpoint. Split boost, if for whatever reason we need to turn it off, we can simply depress that button and it will shut that function off. So if we're trying to clean out the wedge or push something through, whatever it may be, that we don't want that cylinder moving at that rate of speed, we can shut it off. The other nice feature is if we open the door at all, it will automatically shut the split boost off so that we aren't engaging that when we are in the splitting chamber. As we shut the door, it will automatically turn itself back on. You don't have to remember to press the button again. So just nice feature for us. As we talked about, we have went away with the air return on the splitting cylinder and now have a hydraulic detent function. So previously we would detent to the extend position, and we are still doing that. And then once that went over relief and that detent kicked out, there was constant air pressure on the backside of that cylinder that would allow it to retract. Now we're using hydraulics to retract with our second return valve here. So one handle here to be able to perform those functions. So as we split, we simply pull the lever back. The machine will go through its functions. It'll extend, split, and retract all on its own without any other manipulation of the lever. You don't have to touch anything else. Lights, we do have the light package on this machine. Had the floodlight above the halo here that shines down on the in-feed conveyor. We have a light down here on the splitting chamber that also illuminates the back part of the elevator. And the other nice function is we have a light here that lights up our entire control panel. So looks awesome at night. It really does. It lights it up well and allows the operator to see and be able to function in the dark, especially here as we get into our shorter days here this fall. We know a lot of guys that have firewood as their secondary or primary job that are working in the evenings. Great option for them. Similar layout as far as our clamp, bar, log trough, log deck, and slide table as far as how we position the levers. So really going back to our air return on this, we press the lever down, that engages our clamp. Once clamp goes over relief, we start our cutting process. And as soon as we let off, we return that bar to a natural position without having to raise the lever. So we don't need to raise the lever until we decide we want to loosen the clamp and advance the log. Other thing on cut speed, so not only did we enhance slitting speed or make huge improvements there, we have also sped up our cutting process. So we've made a lot of changes to the hydraulic and the air return on that with less restriction. So we have a much faster down and retract speed of the saw itself. And then we've actually sped the chain up as well quite a bit. So we've really enhanced cutting speed. So we're really excited to showcase that and really get our cutting speed more in line with our newer, faster splitting speed. So a lot of changes that we've done on this machine. When we talk HP on this, we've really added a next level performance on this machine. Log trough, so as we advance the log, we press down. That will bring it into our auto stop function. Log deck, we press down, and that will feed our logs down into the in-feed conveyor. And then we have our slide table. So slide table, something we do get a lot of questions on. It is a nice feature, especially with larger diameter logs. We can actually bring that table towards us. So as we get to our last piece, that log has something to rest on. So we're not trying to utilize the clamp to hold it right where it needs to be, or trying to reach in there and hold it. Just makes it a lot easier. Again, especially with the larger diameter logs, we're not trying to support that weight or worry about it falling out of the clamp and down into the splitting chamber. Both auto stop and last piece are both optional items on this machine. So we have a lot of guys that have ran the Blockbusters for years. Some have ran the different features, some swear by them, some do not like them. So we've decided to make them optional and not part of the base machine. We feel that's important, that guys be able to order these machines the way they want them. So, and then in the event they want, they can look at adding them down the road. So again, operator station, totally new, different, cleaner, new decals all the way around the machine. Just kind of a new look for us. So really, again, talking through, this is our first big engineering project that we've done. So we spent a lot of time on this, and we've learned a lot, and it's a lot of what we learned is going to carry over into some of the future products we're working on as well. So 16-foot attached pivoting elevator. It's something that we know has been asked for a long time on our machines. We've tried to make it as simple as possible, which I believe we've succeeded. It is a two-piece elevator, so very quick to deploy. We'll catch some video footage of that here as we wrap up, kind of showing that process of folding in and folding out. No different than any of our other Blockbuster products. We will continue to give you your auxiliary hydraulics here, so in the event you do not order an attached conveyor or a conveyor of any type, we still give you those hydraulics and that valve on the machine to be able to run whatever you desire, whether it be cleaner, whatever. So nice feature there. Always like to talk through that. A lot of people have different options that they already have for conveyors, so we want to make sure they are able to utilize them. The other nice function on the elevator, remote winch control. So we have the ability to raise the elevator. From this position, we also have a rocker switch here on the control panel that when the key's turned on, we can operate the winch. And then once we have that raised, we have our pivoting function right here. So we have the ability to hydraulically pivot 30 degrees one direction and 30 degrees the other direction for a total of 60 degrees of total swing. And our engineers, jokingly aside, they called our workspace, their office, the nerdery, which is kind of fun. But they kind of went through some gross calculations and what the 16-foot pivoting elevator does for us from an efficiency standpoint. And it was interesting, kind of their calculations they came up. We determined that with our 12-foot attached elevator, that gets us to about a 9-foot total height. And when they did the math on the kind of the average cone layout or pile of wood, green wood for that matter, we could stack about 1 3/4 cord of green wood underneath that elevator before we would have to move the machine. When we go to the 16-foot, so now we obviously have more height, we're up to almost 12 foot of height with that. We can stack nearly 14 cord of wood starting from 30 degree this way to a 60 degree swing the other direction at that higher height. So we gain a lot more pile capacity, I guess is what you want to say. So again, just more efficiency before we have to worry about moving the machine. We know that portability is a big thing with these machines. That's something that we've really kept intact. We still have a 7.5 foot transport width, which is great, makes them very easy to tow down the road. We're 24 foot long without the elevator, probably right about 27 foot with the attached elevator folded up. So it kind of gives you an idea for length. And then weight, probably the biggest thing, a lot of value here in this machine at our price point. We are with the attached elevator on here right at 10,000 pounds. So a lot of machine, a lot of value, really built off that existing Blockbuster legacy of overbuilt, thicker wall tubing, steel tubing everywhere. You know, just they're made to last. We know these guys that had these machines, they last forever. They really don't dent up or bend or break. They're built, and we've continued that here in this design and this concept. So again, just kind of high level specs, roughly 24 feet long, 7.5 foot wide in transport, 12 foot with this style deck in an operating position, and then 14 foot wide with our optional hydraulic folding live deck. So I just wanted to touch base on those for you as well. So as we talk about our 16-foot elevator, we mentioned that we had the hydraulic side-to-side pivot, and you saw that we had the remote-controlled winch option to be able to lift and lower the elevator assembly. Another thing we did kind of strategically here with the Halo is we placed our winch right above our splitting wedge. So obviously, concept on that is that we can pull the pin here on our auto stop, remove this from the receiver, set it on our last piece slide table, and then we can take the slack off of here, unhook the cable, run it in, and utilize our winch to completely remove the wedge that's in there, pull it off to the side one-handed, lower it. If we have another wedge here waiting, we can hook it up, and one person can easily put that new wedge in all by themselves. So you don't have to try to figure out how to get it up into the splitting chamber. We know a lot of you guys, you buy these machines to take the legwork out of this. So as we see more people that are mobile, that are utilizing mobile processing or maybe switching wedges, more options for different customer bases more frequently, just a really nice feature that they can utilize to be able to take some of the work out of that for them and save their backs. So another nice feature that really came out of direct customer feedback. So as far as the bar and chain on this machine, we've stuck with the Doosan bar. So it's a Harvester bar, 404 chain. It's Doosan branded. We've used these blue bars for quite a while. We probably don't talk about them as much as we should. They are a really good bar. They're very durable. They're 100% heat treated. A lot of other companies just heat treat the rails. So they have a lot of spring into them. So should you, it's hard to do on this machine with the auto air return and how fast we return, but should you run a log into one of these, they have a lot of spring. But one thing that's different is we're using a different bar size than we've used before. So traditionally we've used either a 75 centimeter or we jumped up to a 90 centimeter for our larger machines. We went with a 80 centimeter, which is a 32-inch bar on this machine, and that's to achieve our 22-inch cut here with some of the other changes we made. So again, 22-inch cut, 32-inch bar, 80 centimeter bar. and same 404 chain we've been using. So just highlight on that. All right, as we come back here to the front of the machine, a few other things that are noticeably different. You can see that we have our cooling package here. We went away from the radiator mounted hydraulic cooler into a dedicated 12-volt fan self-contained assembly. So we've mounted that there. We've done a good job of getting it far away from the sawdust chute so that we're not worrying about pulling any debris through there or anything like that. As we come back here, you kind of notice as we walked around the machine, we've included a lot more black in our paint scheme. You can also see that we have our new logo here. We've touched base on that in another video and kind of the reason behind it, but we're really excited. This is part of that vision of moving forward, and this machine really ties into that. We went to a 50-gallon hydraulic tank on this machine, and just again, from a customer creature user experience, or really based on customer feedback, we went to this beveled neck design. So we've gotten our cap out away from the top of the tank, just easier again to fill with either fuel here or hydraulic fluid. So again, a lot of stuff here is customer feedback, things that we've listened to, jotted down, figured out for ourselves based on us running the machine. So a lot of little things just to really enhance that user experience all the way around. So again, 50-gallon hydraulic tank, and then right behind it is our fuel tank, which is a 25-gallon fuel tank. So plenty of fuel capacity on here. Will easily get us through a day's worth of work, even a long day. So we don't have to worry about stopping to fill multiple times throughout the day. Behind that, dedicated wedge storage. So you can see here we have a 6-way wedge. Nothing new to the industry by any means, but something that customers have asked us for. That way we're not having our wedges laying across the wood yard or knowing where to go to find them. We can keep them mounted on the machine here. So again, dedicated wedge storage for any additional wedges. Air tank, just a little bit different here. We've mounted it vertical, and we put it out here more towards the edge of the machine. Again, previous designs, we've had it generally towards the front or middle underneath the machine. We've made it very easy so it's accessible, so that when we come out here every day to drain air or drain water out of the tank, it's more prone to people wanting to do that because you don't have to bend over and get underneath the machine. So again, kind of really based off feedback. People want things more accessible, and they want them easier to be able to work on or service or do daily maintenance items. No different than our other designs. We have our 3/8 coupling here for our air hose, or for a 3/8 air hose that we can use, so we can utilize the air that's on board for our saw bar cylinder here to be able to blow off the machine, air up a tire, whatever it may be, any use that we need for air. So we've always done that on our air machines. We've included that here in the B18 HP as well. So if we step on back, we made some design changes to our sawdust chute just to be able to get more of a direct flow of sawdust down towards the ground and not blowing everywhere. We've kind of had this set up for people to either make their own modifications. Everybody's doing something a little bit different with sawdust, but we've kind of built this in mind with being able to do some future stuff as well with being able to handle sawdust. The nice thing is we can pull this pin here, and this will fold down because it's also hinged on the bottom side, and we have very good accessibility to our bar. So if we're making adjustments, removing chain, removing bar, this folds right down out of the way. And we can easily make any changes or adjustment to chain tension or the bar. We come back here, we can see our last piece slide table, auto stop. Again, no different than our other machines, just we've included some more black in the paint scheme. And then probably really the biggest thing, we've made some big changes to our splitting chamber. Not big changes, but subtle changes that have helped us with better optimization of our current wedge designs and new wedge designs with them wanting to walk up. We've made some changes that allow that wood to grow or bloom a little bit without pushing down on the floor of the splitting chamber, so that they have room to grow and bloom without wanting to push the wedge up out of there. So we're very happy with those results and changes. And then the biggest thing for us, as you can see in here, is we have our 16-way splitting wedge. So kind of a box style wedge design. We've incorporated the same theory of design as our previous wedge designs, where we have staggered knives. We're not trying to split all those pieces at once. We come in here, we initially split in half, and then we hit our next set of knives to quarter, and then we hit our vertical knives to give us our final 16 pieces. So again, just takes less splitting force to be able to push everything through there. So very happy about that, very excited. We've worked really hard on some other wedge designs that you'll see later that we spent a lot of time on, a lot of resources. There's a lot of science behind the wedge designs, and we're very happy with where we're at and where we're going. So yeah, really overall tour of the B18 HP. We're very excited, very clean. Again, just kind of going back to aesthetics, simplification. We talk about the main level specs. We're 7.5 foot wide, 24 foot long with no attached elevator, roughly 27 with the elevator folded up, and the transport position. We're right at 10,000 pounds the way this machine sits, right as it is. So that was right off the scales here the other day. So 10,000 pounds. So again, a lot of steel, a lot of value, durability. These machines are really designed to last. We never want to get away from that. You can kind of joke about Tim maybe, but he never built any obsolescence into these things. So we're using a lot of the same components we've used before, but just really clean things up, protected, hidden some stuff. Kind of got a lot of the hydraulic hoses wrapped up or covered to keep them out of the sunlight and away from any damage. So again, very excited about this machine. A lot of work went into here, and we've learned a lot, and a lot of the things that we've done on here, we look forward to incorporating into our existing models down the road. So want to thank you guys for watching through this entire segment. If you ever have questions, please don't hesitate to reach out, comment on social media. This machine will be at the Paul Bunyan show if you see this here before the show starts. Obviously you see the phone number there. You can call us at any time, talk to sales or talk to parts and service Tony if you ever have any questions. Otherwise, you can see our websites on there as well. All of our pricing is online. We get a lot of questions on that. Yes, our online pricing is real pricing. There's nothing hidden about it. If you build a quote, that's what it is. The only thing that we ask you to take into account too is getting it freighted to you, whether you want to pick it up here or not. To alleviate that, we can line up freight, you can line up freight, it doesn't matter. We just want to make sure that's considered when we're looking at machine options. And then the other thing would be sales tax. So if your state of sales is subject to sales tax, we just ask that you provide us proof of tax exemption, and we can waive that. And just want to make sure everybody understands that. But yes, very excited. Glad you guys could watch. Please reach out with any questions and stay tuned. Thank you.